Hi, my name is Richard Rogers. I'm a 2006 Texas Teaching Fellow. I'm teaching at Ojeda Junior High, 7th and 8th grade, Special Education Department. I deal with the behavior program here at Ojeda, and that's basically I take care of the children that have emotional disturbances and various learning disabilities. Before I decided to join Texas Teaching Fellows, I was dead set on going to law school. I had my LSAT taken, and I had the financial support, the emotional support, everything I needed from my family. And they had expectations of me going to law school. However, I just kept going back to teaching in my head. Something just kept bringing me back. I wanted to teach. I wanted to make a difference in the lives of students. So I decided that I would research alternative certification programs and try to find the one that would work out and fit my needs. And I found Texas Teaching Fellows. Again, I was really set on going to law school, and I just couldn't, put that out of my head. But once I found Texas Teaching Fellows, I knew I made the right decision. And I'll tell you a little bit about my story. My first day at school was kind of crazy. Being that I deal with behavior students, I carry around a walkie-talkie, and when the students, misbehaving in class, I get a call on the walkie-talkie, and I report to the classroom, try to calm them down, and get them back to class as soon as possible. First day of school, I already got the first day of school jitters, nervous, never taught a day in my life, never worked with special education students, so I was a bit nervous, and lo and behold, my radio goes off at like 7:30 in the morning, and Mr. Rogers, can you come to the library? So I run down to the library, and I see what I think is a parent throwing books, throwing a backpack across the room, cursing, yelling, and it was a student, and they needed my help to calm the student down and get the student focused. And so I sat there for a few minutes. I'm like, oh my goodness, what did I get myself into? And then I just remembered everything that I had learned through Texas Teaching Fellows and different strategies to deal with different behaviors. And I went in, started speaking with the student, and she noticed that I had a little bracelet on that said Katrina Relief. And being that I'm from Louisiana, I always wore my little Katrina bracelet. And Katrina had just recently happened, and the student noticed the bracelet, and she said, "Are you from Louisiana?" And I said, "Yes, I'm actually from right outside of Baton Rouge." And she said, "Oh, I'm from New Orleans. I'm a Katrina victim. They just put us here." It's basically what she told me. So we kind of bonded on that level. She had something in common. We were from the same place. We had seen the tragedy of Katrina. She had lived through it. So we had this common bond, and she was facing not only these issues, but we later found out that she was facing some serious academic issues. She was reading on a first grade level when she was in the 8th grade. So that presented another challenge. We had behavior challenges and we had academic challenges with the student. But again, I was able to go back to my Texas Teaching Fellows, my curriculum and cohort members, my advisors, anyone that I needed help from, I could always get help from. I felt very well prepared despite my nervousness, which I think is kind of natural, but overall I felt really prepared, and it helped me to have a smooth year. It helped me to get past those moments where I felt like, oh my goodness, what am I doing? To, wow, I remember learning this in a content seminar, or I learned this during Summer Institute, and I could just pull out these things and use them in my day-to-day teaching. As far as the financial transition goes, that was a big deal for me as well. I was moving from Louisiana to Texas, not really familiar with Austin, not really familiar with Texas, and it was a big deal to move that length, and it was kind of costly. But again, Texas Teaching Fellows steered me down the right road when it came to figure out how I was going to pay for things. They even gave me numbers and names of places I could rent from, apartments, and gave me a good feel of Austin just for being there for just a short time. They really helped me out finding my way around and finding my place in Austin. So I'm very thankful for that. As far as my student that I was telling you about before, she's now reading almost at her grade level. The year wasn't an easy year, but it wasn't a difficult year either. I felt well prepared again, and it's just great to know that she's reading now. She's trying to be a successful student, and it's a really great feeling to know that I kind of came from not knowing anything to knowing what I feel is a whole lot, and I have Texas Teaching Fellows to be very thankful for. And I'm certified, and I'm teaching, and I plan on doing it for a while. I really enjoy it, and I'm glad that I made the decision that I made, and I wouldn't change anything for the world. I really, really like what I do.